Hi, this is Lindsay, the LED lady. We're here at Light Fair in New York City, and I'm with Mandeep Kara. Tell me a little bit more about Daintree.
Sure. So Daintree Networks is an advanced wireless control solution. So the solution is called Control Scope, and it's an advanced wireless control for lighting, but we go way beyond lighting. So we do lighting, thermostats, plug loads, fans, and pretty much everything else. It's all based on open standards. So that allows us to have interoperability. So ultimately, if you think about, if you keep adding devices, energy initially and then non-energy eventually, it's more like an enterprise Internet of Things. So that's kind of what our solution does. It's software and wireless networking based solution.
And so I understand you guys are doing a VIP, go around the fair and take a look at companies like Deco Digital and LG Innotek. What are your representations and connections with these kind of companies?
Those are our strategic partners, key partners. So we have built a big ecosystem, as you can see on these logos, right? So we work with all the fixture partners, the driver manufacturers and other manufacturers within the ecosystem to kind of promote open standards and so we can all work together. So customers have a choice. I mean, ultimately it's about the customer. So we want to give customers that choice. So in the VIP program, we've worked with 5 partners, and we have you can take a passport and get stamps from everyone, and we're giving these huge prizes for drawing and attracting people to the booths.
And we get to learn, right?
Yes, absolutely. Learning is obviously the key part of it, and then on top of that, you win prizes, so it's icing on the cake.
Well, I have this saying, of course, you know, with real estate, it's about location, location, location. In lighting, it's about education, education, education. And with controls, you just can't have enough.
Yes, it is absolutely right, because I think still awareness is so low, you know, especially on the wireless side. It's so easy to implement, it's cost effective, and it saves 70% energy and a bunch of other benefits, and people are still not adapting it very quickly, right? Why? Because of education, 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 like you said.
And I'm curious, if someone like a contractor, let's just say I'm in the California PG&E territory, if a contractor like that was looking at a project, a parking garage, a grocery store, warehouse, would they get assistance from Daintree to help them really specify that control system that would be ideal for that project?
Absolutely. So we work with a lot of contractors, and we work very closely with PG&E and other utilities, right? So for rebates, so for example, one of the features that we have in the product, we integrate with automated demand response, which is a huge issue from not only from compliance point of view for Title 24, but in general, I think it's a good idea for commercial companies to have automated demand response, right, for peak times, and then you get rebates in return. So we work very closely with PG&E, and the contractors, we're actually helping with, again, through the ecosystem, through our partners. We work with them on closing these deals and offering them incentives, as well as letting them know, again, education about the product. So we do a lot of that.
You've got to know which product number to put down on your purchasing order, and you name it. Yes. So I have also become familiar with Daintree Networks through a project with the Gap headquarters in San Francisco, which is, a lot of people know it's Title 24, bringing in controls into the building code, and it's working with both Next Lighting for the LED linear retrofit and Daintree to actually manage dimming controls of that whole project, and that's going to lead us into the deemed rebate and so on. Do you know about this project, and can you tell me a little more?
Yeah, so I mean, I don't want to share too much about the detail about the project itself, but I think I'll comment on the deemed rebate. So one of the issues that I have from the whole rebate program and with Title 24 and all the incentives with PG&E and everything is that network controls are still not considered a part of deemed rebate, and you have to go through M&B process, which to me, frankly, doesn't make any sense at all, because everyone knows we're saving, up to 70% energy and increasing operational efficiencies. So why we would not get a deemed rebate doesn't make sense. And to PG&E's credit, they're trying, and they agree with our notion that we should be deemed rebate, but they have to go through their processes and work with CPUC and other folks to make it happen. But I think it needs to happen, because until that happens, you won't see a mass movement on this front.
Yeah, there was a shift in the fact that the building code required it now. I mean, it was like one day it didn't, and now it did. Yeah. The market doesn't move that fast. Right. So to give those that are saying, okay, I know it's required, right, but here's my rebate to help me along this process.
Yes. No, absolutely. And I think when Title 24 came out, they took a lot of the incentives away, and we didn't quite understand, and customers didn't quite understand, what's that for? You're basically penalizing me instead of helping me, right? Which I mean, so my question to PG&E, some of the folks that I've talked to there was, what is your ultimate motivation? You know, do you want to save energy in California or do you not? Do you want to encourage people to have controls in these types of technologies to make it happen or not? Do you want to reduce carbon emissions or not? If the answer is yes, 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 then why would you take rebates away? You want to be giving more rebates and help people so they can start adopting these types of technologies.
Especially since 5% of the PG&E bill every month goes to this little pool called the Public Purpose Fund. And yeah, it's definitely time. I appreciate your sentiments around companies getting rewarded for making the choices to reduce energy more. We're going to see a lot more projects go into place. Thank you so much for talking with me at LightFair.
Thank you for talking with me, Lindsay.